Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We are on episode 7, and in the last episode we went back to Rezembul because Edward needed a new automail arm because it was destroyed by Scar. And I think the reason for that, like how he was able to pull that off, I think was because Scar stops at the deconstruction phase of like his alchemy. He doesn't go into the reconstruction. So I believe that that's how he was so powerful with his deconstruction. And obviously his form of alchemy, I think. I could be wrong. I think that still remains to be seen. There hasn't really been confirmation on that, but any other time that we've seen Edward block an attack or something with that arm, it's been blocked. But Scar's managed to do it, and he seemingly did it without breaking a sweat. So it seems like he's more destructive than any of the other people that we've seen. So I think he puts all of his power into that sort of phase of the alchemy stages. We'll see about that moving forward. We went back to Rezembul. On the way, we met Dr. Marco, who was once a state alchemist himself and did a lot of research into medical alchemy. And he has been basically living in a town, kind of in hiding away from the military and everything for that, because he doesn't like the way that they do things. He feels like it's just very much the devil's work, so to speak. He actually had an unfinished Philosopher's Stone, which is very much similar to what we've seen before in those little sort of red beads. But this one was more sort of globular, like in a sort of like semi-liquid state. Which is very interesting, really cool as well. I like that. The thing is that it seems as though where we're going with this is that not to find a Philosopher's Stone, like a fully finished, formed Philosopher's Stone, but it's almost like we are going out to find the truth about how to create a Philosopher's Stone. So if it's going to be the case of Edward actually having to get everything together to actually create one, as opposed to finding one, like is what I previously thought we were going to do. But it looks like we are heading to back to Central, and he has hidden something in the library. It was something about truth hidden within the truth, which is an interesting statement to say the least. Because it's just like, I don't know, it's just very vague, a very vague comment. You know what I mean? It could mean a lot of different things. It could mean something as simple as just like truth hidden within the truth. It's just like, well, the truth about all of this stuff about the Philosopher's Stone is hidden within the non-fiction section of the library. You know what I mean? It could be something stupid as that. But let's not be silly any further. We're going to get straight into episode 7. So if you do, the reaction itself will be here on YouTube. But if for whatever reason in the future it gets taken down for copyright, then I will re-upload this video, and the reaction will be in the link in the description down below. It seems like everything's fine now as of recording this, so hopefully I'll not have to worry about that. But there is a link to the full-length version as well in the description below. So if you want to watch my reaction to this episode in full, then the offer is there for you. But yes, nothing else really to talk about, so we're going to get in episode 7, see what we get. So without further ado, let's go.
It is impossible to create something out of nothing.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's like if we're going down the route of Edward having to create a Philosopher's Stone, what's he going to have to give in order to create that?
Dr. Marco's research! It's all gone!
Oh, you gotta be joking though.
Burning the entire place down was easier.
Oh, is that what you were doing in Central?
Oh, that's why she went there.
The Full Metal boy found out about Marco's research.
Yeah, because she went to speak to him.
Had to be done about it.
Fuck!
I can smell him. The Scar-faced Ishvalan. He's close. I can taste his stink. I still get to eat him right.
Oh yes, down to the last strand of hair.
Okay, so they're wanting to kill off Scar then. Christ. Oh shit! Fucking hell.
Reporting in, sir! We've just received word of an explosion occurring on the Marl River.
What?
It's his jacket.
There's no mistaking it. This was definitely Scar's jacket.
Have you found the body?
Not yet, but we're still searching.
Looks like you got away.
I didn't get my snack.
Yes, I know. Maybe next time. I think
They're
you
just
can
saying
safely
this in the middle of
assume
the crowd.
Scar will be out of the game for a while. I suppose I'll be heading back to Central again.
Oh, Second Lieutenant Ross and Sergeant Brosh, to what do we owe this pleasure?
You have been ordered to report back to the command center, sir.
We'll be taking over supervision of Edward Elric and his brother effective immediately.
Very
Ross and
well is
Brosh.
yours.
What is this?
All might not be lost. There's a woman who was well acquainted with the materials in the first branch.
Oh, wow. There's gotta be a million of them.
Fucking hell.
Oh, is there really someone living in this place?
Please help me!
Which is trapped like under like loads of books.
Brother? There's somebody under there!
It's so unorganized.
I'm so sorry. I got myself trapped under a whole mountain of books. I thought I was going to suffocate under there.
Are
It
you
did.
Sheska?
Yes.
And you worked at the library.
Oh, the library! The word itself is so beautiful! I've loved books my whole entire life, but I forgot that I was supposed to be working and all I ever did was read. So they fired me. If I don't find another job, I'll never be able to move my poor elderly mother into a better hospital.
God.
But I'm hopeless.
Do you remember seeing any research belonging to someone named Tim Marco?
Let's see, Tim Marco. There were some handwritten notes stuffed into a bookcase where they didn't belong.
The notes really were there after all.
Did
Yep.
you want to read them? Is that why you're asking?
Yeah, but it's too late now. They're nothing but ashes.
She
I
took them out.
remember everything that was in them.
Okay.
Would that help at all?
She's got like an unbelievable memory.
It's just how I am. I'm able to remember the content of any book I've ever read. It'll take a while, but I could write them out for you. Here you are, complete copies of all Tim Marco's notes.
Blood.
Sorry, I know
How?
5 days is a long time to wait, but there was quite a lot to write down. Written by Tim Marco. 1,000 easy recipes.
6 cups of rice, 1 carrot, 2 onions, salt. Oh, great.
It's
Does
gonna
this
be-
mean we can always wait for a cookbook?
Wonderful.
it's
So this is
disguised.
just a wild goose chase?
It's disguised as.
Sheska, are you absolutely sure this is a flawless reproduction of the notes?
Oh, yes, I'm 100% certain.
Then thank you very much. All right,
So
let's get
be
these
the
back to
truth
the library.
hidden within the truth. It'll not be obvious, right?
I almost forgot Sheska's fee. Lieutenant, here. Withdraw that amount from my annual research grants and make sure Sheska gets it. Bye!
Did he miss a decimal point somewhere?
It's a shit ton.
How does a boy like that have this kind of money to throw around?
Alchemy is a powerful art. It can be incredibly dangerous if misused. In order to prevent that, alchemic research is always encrypted. Only the alchemist who originally wrote them can understand.
If they're so heavily encrypted, then how are you going to be able to decipher them?
It's not going to be easy. Al, there's a section in here on green tea.
Green tea?
It might be a reference to the Green Lion of metallurgic alchemy. Do we have copies available of Flamel's Codex or Lamspring's Concerning the Philosopher's Stone?
Of course. Thanks to the money you gave me, Edward, I was able to move my mother to a better hospital.
Yay.
I really appreciate it.
Nah, it was no big
The
deal,
paper's still
really.
got a
Have you
hole in
had
it.
any luck deciphering it so far? It was nice to know that even a pathetic mess like me can help out sometimes.
You're not a pathetic mess. I think that the kind of dedication you show to reading is a talent all on its own. And besides that, your memory is incredible.
We've had a lot of cases to deal with lately, and we're still working on getting the Tucker Chimera situation settled. As if things weren't bad enough for us already. The first branch had to burn down in the middle of all this.
That's been a problem, huh?
A big one. All our case records were stored in the stacks at that location. What?
He has
Hey,
more
Lieutenant
work for
Colonel,
you.
I think I've got exactly the person you guys are looking for.
Then I do remember them all.
That's all I needed to hear, lady. You're hired. My office pays well, so don't worry.
Oh, you're saying you want me? Oh, thanks so much. I'll have faith just like you told me to.
Come on now, right to work.
Perfect job.
She may not be thanking us for long. How did you put it again, Al? I think dedication is a talent all on its own. Move,
Yep,
little
especially
brother.
when it's
Very
monotonous.
smooth.
Well, it's something I always think whenever I see a certain someone I know.
been at it for 10 days now. I'm impressed they're still going after all this time.
To hell with it!
What did you guys do to this place?
Don't get angry because you can't crack it. Throwing things won't help.
We did crack it.
Huh?
We cracked the code and decrypted the notes.
There's nothing good about this, damn it! This is the devil's research. Dr. Marco was right. It's evil.
What's so evil about it?
The main ingredient for a Philosopher's Stone
Oh.
is human life.
Of course, of course.
In order to manufacture even a single stone, you have to make multiple human sacrifices.
How could the military authorize research into something so horrible?
Don't speak to anyone about this.
But sir...
Please.
The Elric brothers are holed up in their room again tonight?
Yes. They haven't been eating either.
Brother, you should really get something to eat.
No thanks. You know, Al, it's like we try so hard to grasp the truth, but it always slips away. And now that we finally have caught it, it turns out the truth is too dangerous to hold. I'm starting to think this is God's special way of torturing people who've committed taboos. Something I've been wanting to tell you for a while.
Elric brothers, I know you're in there!
Damn it, Armstrong.
The Major! I know
As
what
if-
it said, Edward Elric!
As if he was never just going to be able to break that.
To think the legend of the Philosopher's Stone is built on such a terrible secret!
We're really sorry.
Imagine the military being behind something like that! Often the truth is more cruel than we bargained for!
The truth?
Truth hidden within the truth.
Look closely. Maybe you'll find the truth hidden within the truth.
It's the same as with alchemical notes. What you can see on the surface is only a portion of the truth. There's still more to find here.
Fucking hell. But, I mean...
Currently, there are 4 operational alchemy laboratories in Central that have connections to the government. Marco worked in the 3rd laboratory. We should start with that one. It's the most suspect.
Here, what's this building used for?
It was designed for the 5th laboratory, but it isn't currently in use. The building isn't structurally sound, so it's been classified off limits.
It's there. There's a prison right next door.
Okay, so?
What was the main ingredient for a Philosopher's Stone?
Oh,
There'd be
fucking
plenty
hell.
of condemned criminals in the prison. Officially, they'd be recorded as executed.
But there were you... Oh my god. What?
They're using the prisoners to make the stone.
Isn't that where they think the
Prisons
one
from other
guy's...
jurisdictions could be used too. I wonder if the government is involved.
This has the potential of becoming a political nightmare before long.
That's where Kimberly is, right?
In the meantime, officers, speak of this to no one.
Sir!
Christ.
You were thinking about sneaking into this building and taking a look around, weren't you? Admit it!
We weren't, we promise! Yeah, sure we weren't.
Damn, that's crazy.
And...
The old-fashioned way. That's good. He doesn't even need to worry about the bombs.
Al, you need to wait here.
You're fine on your own?
Whether I'm fine on my own or not isn't the issue. You're too big to get through here.
Yeah.
It's not like I asked to get this big.
66.
What is it, 48?
It looks as if we've got guests.
Fuck are these?
Damn.
Why did one of them look like
It's
Al?
tighter in here than I thought. This is it, all right.
It's taking a long time.
Man.
Whenever Ed comes over, it's like a tornado hit this place. Huh? Whoopsie.
Oh, what? Oh, come on, dude! You can't, you can't be oh, this sucks. Okay, right. Alright, so for reference as to what, sort of order I just watched everything in there, I forgot in the pre-discussion to watch the after credit scene for episode 6 because I missed it last episode. I was planning on watching it before I watched episode 7, but I forgot, and I only remembered at the end of this episode, end of episode 7. So I've literally just watched, obviously, the after credit scene for episode 6, and there's a screw loose. Oh no! Fuck! I'm so glad that like nothing happened in episode 7 where like I didn't, you know, I didn't like understand what would have happened if, you know, like if Edward was to start fighting whatever the hell these number things are, and his like arm just fell apart or something like that. Oh God, we're gonna end up going back to Rezembul like earlier than I previously thought, you know. And the funny thing is Winry's gonna just think, oh, it's great because now they're gonna come back even sooner. But oh, really? I can't believe that, dude. I just need to write that down because just so I don't forget it later on. Oh God, I mean, I can't blame her because at the end of the day she went 3 like days and nights without fucking sleeping. You know what I mean? So the fact that she missed one is, I guess, to be expected. I don't know. Maybe Edward can like use his alchemy powers to create a screw, just to screw it in as like some sort of temporary fix for now. That would be cool, a cool way around it. But anyway, yeah. So that's the after credit scene. Done and dusted. Again, I'm glad that, you know, 'cause I guarantee it'll be something that crops up like in episode 8 or something. So luckily in episode 7 it wasn't something that was, you know, actually brought up as a problem. But anyway, yeah, so damn. Hidden truths, indeed. That was a cool revelation, that these different labs that are set up. One that's kind of like in disrepair, like it's not, I think they described it as kind of like not finished or, you know, or whatever. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a fucking a stretch to say that. I mean, the fucking place looks like it's about to cave in on itself. But yeah, so they were using this lab right next to the prison. The fact that he was able to come up with that, man, because they never mentioned like any death row convicts before. I mean, I guess it's not too far out of the realm of possibility to, you know, actually think that this world has, you know, capital punishment as well. And it's seemingly it's done by the by hanging as well, unless that was just a visual. But I mean, the interesting thing about this is that it's right next to the prison that they have, you know, there was no, we haven't seen Kimberly since episode 1, right? And the first unfinished Philosopher's Stone that we saw, which at that point I didn't even know it was a Philosopher's Stone, as it disappeared, the shot went back to Kimberly, who said something like, oh, that's unfortunate, or something like that, right? I just find it very sort of convenient that that had happened, and now we're at a laboratory where Edward is believing that they're using this lab and using death row convicts as human sacrifices to create Philosopher's Stones. And I feel like Kimberly is connected with it, if he's not entirely behind it. I mean, there's got to be a reason why he's staying in the prison, right? So I've got a theory. I think what makes sense is Kimberly is a part of this terrorist group, right? This group that gluttony and envy and lust, if that's a name, are a part of. I think that Kimberly is a part of that as well. Now I'm thinking Kimberly's his real name, and if he is part of the group, I'll be surprised if he doesn't have a 7 Deadly Sin name as well. But regardless, I feel like he's part of that group, and he's being used as that way to get the group Philosopher's Stones, and using other prisoners. It would suggest that Kimberly himself is not a death row convict, because obviously he would, you know, but he would have to. I don't know. Is there like an inside man? Because surely you would have to have access to the death row convicts as well. Because the thing is with alchemy is that you have to, like, you have to be able to touch them, right? In order to use them as, like, you know, there has to be like some connection between the, I guess the recipient, like whoever's doing the actual alchemy, like has to be able to be in contact with all the things that he's reconstructing in a way. So, and that's the thing, is because obviously Lust, if that is her name, I have to literally preface every time I call her Lust if that is her name, because I still don't know. That's the problem, man. I'm watching it on a thing that doesn't have subtitles, so it's like, it was lucky those like mid-card things came up for Sheska's name, because I didn't catch like what her name actually was, and I was worried that I was gonna get it wrong, but luckily it actually brought her name up. But obviously the interesting thing is that Lust, if that is her name, went to see Dr. Marco, knowing that, like, I mean, there's got to be a reason why she went to see him. She's already gotten the information previously, knowing, like, she must have known that these, I mean, she was told clearly is that that's where the, these papers were. But obviously she knows the same, I guess, formula for creating these stones, and therefore not wanting anybody else to have it. It's an interesting sort of parallel, I feel like, as well, because when the Elric brothers found out that it requires human lives and everything like that, they themselves were like, keep this to yourself, make sure no one else knows. So it's interesting on both sides that they don't want this out. Now, in the case of, obviously, this, the terrorist group, again, like, that's another thing that I'm kind of unclear on, is like what to call this group of bad guys. I mean, I'm gonna say that they are bad guys, but like, in their, I want to know what their motive is for everything. I don't know if it's just chaos or taking over the world or what, but I want to know the motives behind the reason why they're doing it. But it would be a bit rich to ask that only 7 episodes in, but it's interesting because obviously, that group is aware of, is completely aware of the Elric brothers and everything like that, but they're still within, like, the shadows, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't noticed any of the state alchemists or Mustang or anybody like that bring up this group at all. So it's like they're operating from the shadows entirely, which makes sense because obviously, like, back in episode 3 when they were using the Father Cornello, like, they're using puppets to serve their own purposes while they do things, out of eyesight. So yeah, I think it's definitely connected with Kimberly in some degree, and I think Kimberly is kind of like working as a Philosopher's Stone, like, creator at this point to give to the group, which kind of still, that theory that I brought up like episodes ago about maybe these little stones are somehow influencing the people that are holding on to them, and gives the terrorist group some control over them or something like that, because they give them to, it could be just a thing of like power corrupts as well, like, because they have gotten this, they feel like they can take on the world, so it's like they inevitably become more evil because they have access to this thing, which I think is something that this show is kind of subconscious, well, not even subconsciously because they are saying it, but like, it's like a thing in the background that like is brought up, especially with this Philosopher's Stone thing, like something that is so incredibly powerful that it is considered like devil's research, and it's like, it's something that no human should possess, that kind of power, you know what I mean, this godly power. So in some ways it's like you have that kind of opposite from the Ishvali or the Ishvalan people, who are like, they see it as like heresy in a way, you know what I mean, and that like even alchemy is not supposed to be for humans, because even that's just like too much power, So, you know, something like a Philosopher's Stone is like just even like next level stuff. So I guess in a way then, I guess that makes sense as to why this group wanted to take out Scar then as well. Because I was wondering if there was going to be like a thing of like, you know, like if there was going to be some form of, I don't know, like if they were going to team up for something or, you know, use Scar for something like that, but you know, they didn't. So yeah, I mean, he's still alive, is what I've gathered, and I feel like he'll be out of the story for a bit anyway. But you know, I mean, I guess it makes sense because Scar wouldn't agree with what they are either. You know what I mean? And I don't think Scar is a hypocrite in any way. I think he is truly for like his people and the way that they think about it. So, you know, yeah. But yeah, sorry if you can hear those fireworks outside. I mean, it's, you know, it's that time of year, isn't it? Fucking hell. But yeah, so I was a little bit confused in like I guess the way that the map is described is like, you know, because I thought where the like the state alchemist sort of military HQ is, I thought that was central. But I guess not. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough. I don't know if it's like, because I've seen the map very like briefly a couple times where it looks like it's almost built like an alchemy thing where it's like you have the main thing in the center and then everything sort of webs off of it. You know what I mean? And like it just expands outwards. You know, but I don't know if it's a case of like it is. So they've been in East City. They've been in East City for the most part, but episode 1 took place in Central. Is that what we're talking about? And is it like Mustang is in charge of like East City? Because I feel like that hasn't been explained, and if it has, I apologize for not picking up on that. But yeah, I mean, it's because I don't know how big it is either, and I'm trying to relate that to when I saw the map where Ishvalan was and where, you know, Rezembul was, and because they look relatively close on a map, it makes me believe that they're actually quite far apart, like in terms of distance. You know, I mean, yeah, well, that's how far apart works, you idiot. But you know, like, I don't know. It's just an interesting one. I don't know if like, because that's another thing as well. Is like the world map. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if Central is like sort of in one, like if I was to think of it like a state, you know, or like a, you know, something like that, like if it was like a state and Central is a part of it and Ishvalan is its like own state, or is it more like countries? You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like, I don't know, man. The map is a bit. I haven't really been told about the map yet. I don't think, you know, in where everything really is. So, you know, it's a bit. I've been confused between like what is East City and what's Central. You know, so you know, I don't know, but yeah, it's say another thing is that East City could be the east side of Central, for all I know. You know, but yeah, so. Yeah, so Sheska, an unbelievable memory. Basically, her whole life has been reading books, and because of that, her hobby's kind of like taken over the way that, you know, she lives life, to the point where she got fired from her job. But now, the Elrics have shown up, give her a job, give her money for, you know, basically, essentially she became a printer. I mean, I guess that's her job now, isn't it? It's like she just prints out everything that she's read and everything like that. But yeah, but she's got a picturesque memory, and everything like that. And yeah, obviously called the truth hidden within the truth, as encrypted information is something that's how they do it. So yeah, I mean, alchemy and everything like that. That makes total sense, because I don't think the world is actually. That'll be another thing actually. Is everybody aware of alchemy, or is it only known to those few? Like, you know, because I felt like that's what it was before, when the Civil War was going off, because like you had these people come out of nowhere. But I guess there was alchemy. It's just that they changed it up to sort of meld with people's bodies, like to be like they basically used alchemy as a form of weapon in a way. But I don't know if, because I don't know if it's a case of everyone knows about it, or if just ordinary people, ordinary civilians are just unaware of it. I don't know, because we haven't heard anything of like media or anything like that, like coming in, like for example that explosion that was between the terrorist group and Scar. They were wondering whether it was like a gas explosion or something like that, and I wonder if there's like that going around where they are like, they cover it up as like, oh, it was just a gas explosion, when I don't know. But then it's like hard to, how do you cover a lot of this stuff up? Like for example in episode 1, when you had that guy that was literally just riding ice and everything like that, like how the fuck do you cover that up? So I don't know. So yeah, other than that, there was Edward talked about the green line. I think that's what you said, the green line. It was green something, but in turn that sort of relates to metallurgy, I think, which is interesting. And I wonder if to some degree you could relate that to what, or like the automail industry, like would that be able to like, would you be able to use that alongside like Winry and Granny's like sort of like the way that they work with it? Because it seems like they're more like pure just engineers, and they don't use alchemy. But I wonder if you could, but then it's going to be, I feel like it could easily just be one of those things where Winry and Granny are just like, no, like that's just, we do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because they're proper gearheads. To do it with this like this alchemy and everything like that would be blasphemous, But because they obviously with metallurgy being involved with metal and everything like that, I was wondering if it was possible to sort of mix the two. But yeah. I'm also interested as well as like how does that relate to a stone? Metallurgy, because I wouldn't think that would be the one, like that would be a branch that would be involved in creating a Philosopher's Stone, but I don't know, because I guess if the Philosopher's Stone is that like one real unique item, I don't know if it's a case of like you need one from every branch of alchemy, like if you need something from every branch, because that could be it as well, because it has to become this thing that is like kind of all powerful in a way. So you need like everything that ever exists to create this thing. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I've got. It's going to be interesting next episode to see what these numbers are. Like, I think one of them was called 66 and 48 or something like that. I think one of them looked like Alphonse. It looked like just a suit of armor, but like it had the the fucking thingy tail as well. It could be a case of these people are also victims of human transmutation as well, and they've just become these like monsters, these like horrendous monsters. But then that would just be like kind of not too far off a chimera, I suppose. But they're not really fusing it with other monsters more than binding their soul to something. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Who the fuck knows? We'll find out next time, I'm sure. Yeah, don't think there's anything else really to talk about. So we're going to get an episode 8. So yeah, episode 8 will be out the same time as this. If you want to get access to episode 9 and 10 right now, then you can do by going over to my Patreon, becoming an early access tier patron, and that'll give you access, of course, to the shows a week early. So it's $5 a month for that. There's also the full-length tier if you want to watch any of my reactions in full and not just the cut 10-minute version. And then there is the exclusive tier, which gives you access to movie reactions and things like that, which are coming very, very soon, so keep an eye out for those. But that is all I've got. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.